Hey there lovelies, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie, where I love to talk all things makeup. Today I'm going to be doing something just a little bit different in this video. I wanted to cover travel makeup and how to pack makeup that is going to best suit anywhere that you go and how to keep it minimal. Trust me, I used to be the one girl that would bring, a bulky product like this for every single product that I was bringing with me. Eyeshadow, I had to bring the big eyeshadow. I had to have so many options, right? For just a 2-3 day, even week-long stay. And I just realized when I was traveling a lot that I didn't use all those products and it was just too cumbersome to have it traveling with me. And so I really pared down my travel makeup, and I thought that I would take you along with me and show you how I pack my makeup and what I bring to really make this process so slim. So come on with me, we're gonna go to my bathroom and I'm gonna show you how I do this. I've brought you to my bathroom and I have all of the makeup products here that I would travel with, that I have actually traveled with. So first I'm going to talk about this bag here. This is actually a handmade bag that I got, and it is pretty big. And I also love that it's got a really nice wide opening. I also love that the zipper is super easy. Okay, I really don't like zippers that get caught, especially in my brush bristles. So don't mind the dirtiness of it. This is real life here, right? I actually use my stuff, but I would really like to upgrade and get a bag that has, compartments here on the inside to maybe keep, some things like my lipstick or lip gloss. But for now, this is what I use, and it works really nicely because I can pack it in between clothes, and it works for taking on the road, works for airplane. I've done it all with this bag. So now we're gonna go through each item that I have here, and I will also show you how I pack my bag to keep my products the safest without cracking or exploding or anything like that. But I also don't have anything in here that's going to explode. The only thing I would be worried about exploding is like a foundation bottle. But if you haven't seen my recent video on makeup hacks, you should go ahead and watch that now, because I cover, some really awesome makeup tips that you can use. But the first thing that I will actually start out with is, and I'm not gonna go in order here of products that I use, but just products that are, here, how I would pack it. That's the order I'm gonna go in. So I have this Hourglass palette here, and it's got 6 different shades here. I'll open it up and show you. It's got 2 blushes, it's got a highlighter, it's got 2 finishing powders, and then it's also got a bronzer here. I actually prefer this bronzer a little bit more just because it's a matte bronzer. That's, personal preference. But I love, 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 love this highlighter. It's pinky, it's awesome, it's very reflective. It's great for fair skin people, as well as, acting kind of like a blush topper if you want. I also really like this yellow finishing powder because that can help offset or cancel out any weird discoloration that I've got, but I've also got this bright one that also helps, and just, it really illuminates your skin and looks beautiful when the sun hits it. I also really like that it's got a deep blush and kind of more of a corally or bright blush. That's because, I can get 2 different looks. So I can do an amazing amount of looks with this one. It's also really got this awesome full face mirror, so I don't have to travel with my mirror. I've just got it all, compacted right in here. All of my face products, basically right there. So I will show at the end how I pack that all into the bag. I'm just gonna go through all of the products here, and then we'll get into that. The next thing that I pack is my foundation here. And again, you should go watch that video about makeup hacks that I made. But this is a cushion foundation. It's just a package though. It's not actually like the cushion foundation. The foundation that is in here is foundation that I put in here. So like I took, you know, my favorite foundation that I love and I just squirted it in there until it made this perfect cushion foundation. I've got, you know, my sponge to apply it. I've got a mirror here and it just keeps it all very neat, compacted. I don't have to worry about, you know, my foundation exploding or anything like that from pressure buildup, you know, from an airplane or, you know, going up the mountain or anything like that. I love to travel with foundation this way. And so it is a little bit bulkier, but totally worth it to me versus bringing a bottle onto an airplane. The next thing that I would pack is these two. So I held off forever getting one of these and I debated back and forth. And then there was a Sephora sale and I think this was on sale for like $5 and I was like, okay, how can I resist? Because, you know, when you have a sponge, I always like to take my small sponge with me. But when you have a sponge and you need to wash it, but maybe, you know, you wash it and then you need to throw it in your bag and get to, you know, your flight to go home, or you need to put it in your bag and you're gonna go drive somewhere else to stay. If you just throw this, you know, wet, you know, damp, you've squeezed out all the water, but if you just throw this into your bag, it's gonna stink. And it's also gonna get the rest of your brushes, you know, kind of damp. And I don't wanna be using, you know, a damp blush brush with my powder. It's gonna just like ruin everything. So you get to put your handy dandy little sponge in there, close it up, and it's got holes so that it can, you know, be airy, but also keep it all contained so that it can dry out, it won't get anything wet. And I really, really like this. And also it keeps it very contained so that when I do have product buildup on here, then it just keeps it all right in this case, and I can just wipe out this case when I get home. Now, the next thing that I have is my powder. This is the full-size Huda Beauty loose powder. I used to have the mini, and that's great for traveling. So I would really suggest if you can get a mini loose powder or tap some into, you know, a small container rather than taking the whole big bulky one, then do that. But I do, you know, depending where I'm traveling, if I'm going somewhere hot, then I definitely need my powder because I'm gonna get oily in my T-zone, and maybe I need to set my foundation more than I normally do so that my products last all day. So I don't mind traveling with a big one because I will use quite a bit of powder while I'm traveling. All right, now we're getting down to the slim, small stuff. This right here is not a Maybelline Fit Me blush anymore. This is my under eye color corrector. I don't go anywhere without this because if I want to do kind of a no makeup look, this is a product I'm going to be grabbing for. And when I'm doing a full face, this is what I grab. I always use an under eye color corrector. As soon as I started doing that, it really changed up my makeup game. And you know, my blue and purple circles weren't shining through my concealer. And so I really strongly suggest an under eye color corrector to anybody that, you know, has color, that has dark circles, which, you know, let's be honest, probably most of us do. The next thing is my concealer. This one is just my potted concealer. As you can see, it's really, really getting low there. Normally I don't rebuy products because there's so many I want to purchase and I want to try new products. There's so much out there on the market, but this one I may have to because it is just, it's so good. It lasts me all day. It does not crease like a lot of other, I mean, don't get me wrong, like it does naturally crease some as concealer does, but this one just does not nearly as much. And the product is just wonderful. It covers so much and it covers a large area. Like I don't need a whole bunch of this, which is really nice. So this is the next product that I would use to pack. I always go for my Natasha Denona mini eyeshadow palettes, and that's just because like I've got, you know, wonderful mattes that I can use, and always I've got a shimmer. You know, if I take any other palettes, they're massive, they're super big. So I love these little mini ones from Natasha Denona. and this is the mini Biba one. This is like my tip top one that I travel with. Out of all of my little small eyeshadow palettes that I have, you know, a couple of quads from ColourPop. I've got another one of her, I think it's her retro mini that I have. I want to get a few more of her minis, but this is the one that I take traveling with me because it's the perfect color. They are the perfect colors for my blue eyes and also for my fair skin. You know, I can go really heavy. I can do a full glam look if I wanted to go out to dinner and have a full glam look, or, you know, I can do a really light day look with this. I can do a wonderful eyeliner if I wanted. Like, there's so many looks I can get out of this little eyeshadow palette. Like, this is just totally worth it for me. Every single like $27 dollars that I spent on it. But yeah, I love this, and it goes with, you know, every look. Like, it's neutral enough but also colorful enough that I can wear it just with about anything that I wear. Next, obviously, I'm gonna pack some mascara. Nothing too super exciting about this one. I love this color, love this brand. It doesn't give me raccoon eyes like a lot of other mascaras. And then for my lip products, I try to keep it really, really minimal as well as neutral. I want to make sure that, one, I'm matching my eyeshadow palette, but also neutral enough that, you know, again, it's going to match with everything. So I have my Bare Minerals Mineralist lip liner. This is their Blissful blush. So it's just a very perfect neutral pink for me, almost close to my natural lip color. And then I have this Flower Beauty Petal Pout in Naked Blush. This is also a very neutral pink, just like slightly pinker than my natural lips, but it's like my lips but better with both of these. And then I would just bring this Lawless Forget the Filler Lip Plumping Line Smoothing Gloss. This is the Daisy, I think is what they call it, but I just got it in the mini. And so, you know, if I wanted to wear some gloss, I don't wear gloss all the time just because if it's windy outside, I really, really do not like, you know, my hair getting stuck on my lips. And so most of the time I'll just kind of go with a matte look. And if I want to make this more of a satin look, I just wear some more chapstick underneath of this lipstick. But if I really want to shine, you know, for an evening dinner or outing or something with friends while I'm traveling, then I will grab my lip gloss. So now let's talk tools. Because I am bringing a lip liner that is a pencil, then I do need to make sure that I bring a sharpener because I do not want that wearing down on me. And really, realistically, I don't know, you know, how often I would wear lip liner. Is it going to be every single day of my trip? How long is my trip? So that really depends. You know, if I was taking this lip liner, you know, for the next like 2 days or something, I'd be totally fine and I wouldn't need to bring this. But if I was going on, you know, like a week-long trip or something, I would definitely need to take my sharpener. And then I used to go all out in brushes, you guys. I have narrowed this down so much. So I have narrowed it down to just a blush brush. And this is also going to act as my highlighter brush because I can use, you know, both sides here. And then I know my brushes are dirty. I have my bronzer brush. And one thing I actually forgot to mention is that for my powder, for setting my face, I don't take my puff. I'll actually just take my sponge and I'll use one side as concealer and then I'll use the other side as my powder side to tap that in. If I wanted to do some finishing powder or, you know, powder my entire face, optional to bring a powder brush. So that would be, you know, the 3 face brushes that I would take with me. And then for my eye brushes, I'm just taking a big fluffy brush as well as a small fluffy brush. And then I am taking this dual-ended brush. Ooh, can't really see there. Dual-ended brush. It's got an eyeliner brush and then it also has a spoolie, you know, for my eyebrows, flaking off mascara that I accidentally get on my face, and an eyeliner brush, obviously, for doing eyeliner. So these are all the brushes that I would take with me. Very, very minimal because, again, I don't want my bag to be too big or anything. And then one trick is, you know, especially for my blush brush, because I have a couple of different blush options, that's where this tool comes in handy, a rag. I always have a rag on hand. I never really leave anywhere without it, but you know, you just come in here and just wipe off that excess. You know, I have some old blush on there and it's taking it off. So I just wipe that off, and then I can use it many times for other blushes, you know, that I have in my Hourglass palette, or I can use it for my highlighter if I'm worried of getting too much highlighter on my face. So yeah, this is the other tool. Make sure you always take a rag with you so you can wipe off makeup, so that you can wipe off excess chapstick or foundation on your lips, and also to act as a, you know, kind of brush cleanser. The last tool that I have here, this is, I promise it's clean, it's just stained. I could probably soak it and get more of this out, but this is from E.L.F. It's from their Mint collection, but it's a cleansing cloud is what they call it. And it's basically a makeup eraser. I think they're called makeup eraser cloths. You can get actual makeup eraser cloths, but this, you know, you just warm this with some water, or you just get this wet with some warm water, and then this will take off your makeup for you, rather than, you know, needing to take your oil cleanser or micellar water, which, you know, again, that's more bottles, that's more stuff you're putting in your bag, so that's less shoes or less clothes that you can take on your trip. I really like to use this, and then, you know, I just get to use my regular facial cleanser to take off, you know, that excess makeup. But this is also something that's really handy, and it's nice because it's got this little hook here. You can't really see as I'm hanging it, but this little ribbon right here that you can hang, you know, over the shower to let it air dry so it doesn't stink. And then you can wash it, you know, you can hand wash it while you're in the hotel, or if you're somewhere that has laundry, then you can, you know, go ahead and wash that and use it many times. And I actually use this, like, I try and use, I get like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I kind of like split it in half and use one half one night, one half the other night, flip it over, use the other half the other, you know, my third night, and use this last half for my fourth night. So I can get 4 uses out of this. And so if you're going to be on a trip for just a couple of days, this is perfect. If you're going to be over, you know, a week or about a week, maybe you need to bring 2 of these, but they're really cheap, they're really nice, and it's just a really handy tool. So as you can tell, I really like just laid everything flat, and I, you know, laid that all there. So I have all of the products in. I'm gonna just, I have all my brushes. In they go. And then I'm gonna put this in, and then I kind of use my rag as like a protective barrier so that none of my, you know, brush bristles get caught in the zipper or anything like that. And also, you know, kind of some padding for that makeup as well. And then I just zip it up, and there we go. See, it's all nice and compact here because I laid it down. If I were to just kind of throw this all in the bag, then it gets, you know, pretty bulky, but now I can lay this in between some clothes and make sure that it's really padded super well so that none of my products, you know, get broken. Well, thank you for joining me today in packing my makeup. I hope that you had fun and that you learned something about traveling with makeup, so that for your next trip, you can be a lot more prepared than I was when I first started traveling with makeup. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all of my future uploads. I upload 5 days a week, so lots of content to consume, lots of coming. And also let me know down in the comments what kind of content do you want to see. Do you want to see more tutorials? Do you want to see more get ready with me? Or do you want to see more, you know, kind of makeup hacks, tips, you know, things like this, makeup reviews? Let me know. I'd love to create those videos for you guys. So also I want to get to know you all, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye!